Oh, hey there, guys. You may be wondering what's going on behind me. Well, recently, I say recently, today, um, one of the hermits on Hermitcraft, Zedaph, put out a video about a pig launcher. And the idea is that you put a bunch of pigs in one space, and their hitboxes, if you look, their hitboxes overlap into another block. And when you collide with that, it pushes you. Because the pigs have collision, right? So if I stand here, see how I push the pig around, right? If I go out, see. Anyway, well, I watched Zedaph's video and I really enjoyed it. Zedaph is a genius, um, but he's working with a little more limited space. So I thought I could do that. I could make a better pig launcher. Do a little pig science. So this is not a response to Zedaph. This is a tribute to Zedaph's work here. So I built my own pig launcher. He had a little different setup. I tried it. That's with these redstone blocks. Basically, on the end of this block here, in the inside, he has a trapdoor that pushes the pigs forward off this block, and he lets the chain sit here because it has a smaller hitbox than the block, and they get to push off. Um, I went a different route. I used a ladder because a ladder also has a collision hitbox, but it basically entities can like stay in the space, and it prevents entity cramming. So Zedaph didn't use a ladder, so he had to deal with entity cramming, which was has a limit of I think 22 or 23. Um, so basically, he only got about 20 pigs in here into his space, and they only go a few blocks when you do that. It doesn't really even push the player. Um, this is 200 pigs. I've put 200 pigs in here, and you may have seen I've done a little testing because there's some interesting pig physics at work, and I'm going to talk about the interesting pig physics. So basically, the idea is the pigs fall down. This is how Zedaph's works: is they fall from a height, and they use the honey blocks to slow that fall, and they get launched, right? And you can see I have it marked out. For some reason, the distance is always the same, but I did this in a basically I did this earlier and I reloaded the world, and now the pigs are flying over here instead of over here, but I have them marked off here. So let's do a little look at the distances. So this is a pig force of 100. That's 100 pigs in the slot. This was 108, and that's what happened when I miscounted. This is a pig force of 200. As you can see, this is a fairly consistent number. And I'll show you the next one in just a second, because what's interesting is the speed at which the pigs move is important. So if I stack these higher and put a pig from up there, it doesn't go nearly as far. It's supposed to go there, but it only goes here, and that's because it falls slowly and only connects with some of these hitboxes before it gets thrown out. It doesn't connect with all of them. So you want it to go into the space as quickly as possible. So what I thought is, let's do a water elevator. Let's do it from below, right? But my first inclination to do that was make a water elevator directly up to this block, right? And when I do that, ooh, she works. You'll notice, I have this one already marked off as well. So this is 200 pig force with a water elevator. But what's this? 200 pig force with a water elevator and a 1 block clearance. Why would that be? Well, the water only lets you go so fast, but once you get to the top, you kind of bob up really fast. So if you put a pig in there, whew, you get that little bit extra distance. That 1 block clearance is a big deal right there. So that's 1 block clearance. And then there's one last thing you can do, and I didn't set up a redstone mechanism for this. You could do this with a redstone mechanism. It's not hard. I just didn't feel like doing it. So basically, you chuck one of these, throw a pig, bam, that pig's got slow fall. And these ones, of course, survive. I guess I managed to get him a little further before, but this once again, this isn't terribly, like, once you reload the world, it doesn't seem terribly consistent, but it doesn't really matter. It's just for funs. Um, But yeah, so it matters how high you drop them from. So if instead of dropping them from here, I just put them directly into that. Hold please. I did fire that one anyway. So if you do that, you can get a little more distance. I was getting distance earlier. Maybe I have to put if I put a block here for them to stand on. Yeah. See, we got a distance of about there, and that's the same as the water vader with the 1 block clearance. So I don't think you can go faster than that because that is spawning a pig directly in the block. It's contacting. I'm spawning it directly in this chain, right? I hit it right on. I might have just put a pig in there, but see, I'm putting it on this block and it's firing there. So you can't get more direct than that. So I think that's as far as you're gonna go. But if you'll notice, you may have some eagle-eyed viewers may have noticed. I got a couple more. I got a couple more spots over here. These are Pig Force 400 with a 1 block clearance and with slow fall. It's so far you can barely even see the pig cannon. I haven't measured these blocks out. That seems like a tedious, pointless task. But suffice to say, the only limit to this is your computer. My computer started, my frames kind of went away around 400. They were physically dropping. I didn't want to show that on camera because it looks bad. But suffice to say, the more pigs you fit in here, the further those things are going to go. So that's a fun little thing. You could even collect them because it is consistent in its range. At the very least, you could set up like a collection mechanism that sends the pigs back over here into this water stream and just have a constantly firing pig cannon. Oh boy, that's a good idea. Maybe I should build that. Hold please. And we're back. So suffice to say, this didn't work quite as well as I wanted it to. See, yeah, that happens. You can make a bigger trough. Alright, let's address the obvious. You can make a bigger trough. Sometimes I get lucky and get one. Yeah, not a lot though. Yeah, you can make a bigger trough. What's interesting about this is that because of the way the pigs enter the water column, they're not as uniform as when I was placing them by hand. Because they enter the water column and then they kind of end up somewhere in it, and that actually affects the sort of the angle at which they're thrown. And I haven't really been able to zero that in. So they kind of, yeah, you can kind of see the area they land in. If I just make a bigger trough, we could have essentially a pig machine gun. But also sometimes they just get up there and they don't get thrown. I'm not really sure why that is. This idea could definitely be honed in and made more precise. I thought that was a pig coming up. Oh yeah, I put glass over everything. Not everything, but they were floating on top and they weren't going into the thing. They still obviously decide to do their own thing sometimes. Yep, that one didn't make it. See, but the idea is here. I'm not gonna build it all out, but just a water return system. Chucking pigs back here seems pretty doable. If you're into that, it's a bit of a bigger project than I thought it would be, but it's fun. You could definitely make a pig return system out of this, and then, I mean, with enough pigs in the system, you could have a pig machine gun going off. But I think the more pigs you add to, the more they tend to like bunch up at the top, and they push each other around, and you get an even less accurate scatter. Sometimes they go shorter, sometimes they go, well, they don't ever go further, but sometimes they go shorter or they go wider than you expect. It's it hasn't been a terribly accurate system. And sometimes they don't hit at all; they just kind of walk out. But if I place a block here, it will prevent them from being shot out. So it's kind of, I don't know, it's been difficult to zero it in, but I think it's probably possible. But anyway, this has been some pig science today. I just thought this would be a fun video to make. So yeah, if you enjoyed the pig science, you could subscribe if you want to. I don't make consistent videos, as you may know, but I do try to put up videos every once in a while. It's just, I do this for fun. So let me know if there's anything else you want to see. Maybe I'll build something else. But until then, have a good day.